Yo, what's up, everybody? I'm back here. This is the back-to-back episode of the SNA podcast. I should have went on the side. I did. I put the little bucket right by the door. Yeah. But yeah, I'm back here. This is the 67th episode and the same night of the SNA podcast because that's right. This was Title Tuesday, which was NXT and AEW going head to head like in the good old Wednesday Night War days, like from 2019 to 2021, which was the greatest days in professional wrestling or greatest years in professional when AEW go back to the head to head with NXT. And this time, this was on Tuesdays because the World Series MLB playoffs is on, and it's going to be on TBS on Wednesday, so they had to move it on to the Tuesday nights. And then I already did the SNA podcast, which I recap that, and I'll say the greatest matches, the matches of the night was definitely Braun Breaker versus Carmelo Hayes and Dominic Mysterio taking on Ilya Dragunov. Make sure y'all check that out. Those were really good matches. But yeah, we're gonna begin on NXT. Not NXT, AEW Dynamite, the latest edition of the Title Tuesday event. Episode 67, Part 9, Dynamite, Title Tuesday edition. He's like a little bird, and this is where he sent a message to Adam Copeland saying his right hand of destruction is going to. He's going to finish Edge before he even starts his career in AEW. And I was like, we'll see about that because it didn't seem like that was the case on tonight's show. But anyway, we're going to talk about that more here very soon. But anyway, let's move. We're gonna start off the video with Bryan Danielson taking on Swerve Strickland in a number one contenders match for Christian Cage's TNT Championship. Whoever wins gets to face him at this upcoming Saturday at AEW's Collision, which I'm gonna do an SNA podcast Part 9 video. Make sure y'all check that out. And then up next we got the Mogul Embassy. Mogul Embassy coming out with Swerve Strickland. Well, only in the stage because he stepped back because there's only going to be a one-on-one man-to-man match. This is where, but he did a little dance like this a little bit before he went backstage. This is where we got amateur style technical and technical grappling because they started grabbing the hand, trying to do a grappling hand-to-hand, arm-to-arm off. This is where he pins. Swerve Strickland on the ground, but he only got a 2 count. This is where Swerve Strickland got back up. This is where they're still continuing to do the grappling of their arms and hands. This is where they try to go for an STO, but Bryan Danielson counters it. This is where it goes back and try to do the maneuver on him, but that's where he tried to pin him on the mat, but his shoulders wasn't down. He still had his shoulders up and his legs up. This is where he got his foot up. This is where he lifts him up, hit him with a flying monkey flip. This is where Swerve Strickland was like, "Oh, really? You got some moves. Still got it in you, huh?" And this is where Swerve Strickland gave him that sneaky, maniacal smile, and he was like, "Yeah, that's all you're gonna do, and that's all you're gonna get." And Swerve Strickland's like, "Okay, I got you." And this is where Bryan Danielson was like, "No, I got your leg already." This is where he tried to go for his the Achilles lock, like the Dragon Achilles lock. This is where he tried to lock, and then this is where Swerve Strickland counters it. This is where he tried to go some kind of a half of a headlock, like in the opposite way. This is where he tried to put him in a headlock. This is where he Irish whipped him right in the corner. I see, but anyway, this is where Swerve Strickland was still hanging on. This is where he put him on the ropes on the left side. This is where he slaps Bryan Danielson. He's like, okay, he shouldn't have done it. He's not gonna see what's coming. And he slapped him right back. That's very rare to see. Anyway, this is where he slaps Swerve Strickland. This is where he puts him on the other side of the rope. This is where he hits another flying monkey flip. But this time he was prepared for it because he hit a most impressive cartwheel I have ever seen in wrestling. This is where This is where Strickland, Irish whip. This is where he gets a leapfrog right on the Danielson. This is where he lifts him up. He gets him with a duck. This is where he tried to go or another duck, but he tripped. But he did trip him over because it was very. He did successfully. He tripped him over. This is where he tried to go for a crucifix roll up. This is where he only got to 2 count. This is where he tried to go for a small package, but they start counting back and forth when Aubrey Edwards keeps saying 1, 2, and he's like 1, 2 when they go back and forth, looking like if it's TNA all over again. This is where they counted. And this, this is where Brian Dempsey kicks out when Swerve Strickland did the last time. This is where he went face to face. It was like they're saying to each other, like, this is he's not half bad as what he seems to be. Like, this is where Danielson was like, okay, like the wrist tape comes off or not. Like, but this is where he. Well, I should say kind of metaphorically. This is where they start going for the grappling. This is where he start. This is where they start hanging on to the bottom rope. This is where he's like, all right, like my hands are now. And he hits a right strike right into Danielson's midsection. This is where Aubrey Edwards was like, don't. Like, I wouldn't be doing that for you. This is where try to go for a suplex right on to Danielson. Danielson flips up right into the ring apron. This is where he gets elbowed by Swerve. This is where he goes onto the ropes. This is where he flips up. This is where he tries to go for a tag move. This is where he gets booted right into the face of Danielson. This is where Danielson hits a knife edge chop right onto him. This is where he hits another one. This is where he hits another. I was like, if you're not careful, Danielson, then Gunther's probably going to try to go after you. This is where he hits another. This is where Swerve Strickland was hitting those light chops right onto the American Dragon. This is where he hits a right kick right onto Swerve's arm. This is where he started grabbing his hand. He started twisting it. This is where he grabs on to Danielson's head and pushed him back first right onto the ring post. This is where he sidewalk slammed Danielson right through the hardest part of the ring, which is the ring apron. This is where Swerve Strickland was there's my round of applause for my personal voodoo prince, Nana. This is where he went right on back to Danielson. This is where Irish whips him back into the ring. This is where Swerve Strickland tried to do a dance that looks similar to Justin Jefferson. But I'll say, man, like, please don't try. Like, and do you realize he's on Minnesota, not in Seattle? But anyway, this is where he knees him right into the midsection. This is where he tried to go for a pin, but he only got a 1 count. And this is where Swerve Strickland was like, here, and trying to grab onto his ties. This is where he throws him into the top left corner of Tina the Turnbuckle. This is where he grabs on his hand, hang on to him to restrain him so he won't counter him. We start repeatedly hitting right hands right into his midsection, start continuously doing so. This is where Aubrey Edwards did a 5-second warning account. Like, this is where he throws him right to the other side of Tina the Turnbuckle, like hitting him into his back where it hurts the most. This is where he tried to go for a power slam, which he did so. This is where Swerve Strickland rolls into a suplex. This is where he tried to go for a double brainbuster maneuver. This is where he puts his knees right on Danielson's chest for a 1-2 all count. This is where Swerve Strickland tried to go for a move, but Danielson, I believe, got him counters, throws him out of the ring, goes for a suicide dive, throws him back in the ring. This is where he hits a diving forward drop kick right onto the former NXT North American champion. This is when Danielson was trying to get back up. He was slowly but surely grabbing onto his waist. He started shaking his head, nodding his head like, yeah, I'm trying to get back in this game. Like, come on. And this is where the fans start clapping for Danielson. Like, come on, yes. Like, between this battle of the home battle of the Washington State natives, like, even though they weren't in Washington State tonight, which they were in Independence, Missouri. But anyway, this is where he hits the yes kicks or the roundhouse kicks, like right into Swerve Strickland. This is where he started kicking like back and forth with his lefts and rights right onto Swerve Strickland. This is where he goes for his 7th kick, try to go be lucky, which it was lucky, his luckiest kick, because he hit him head first right into getting head first with the spinning kick. Where the final, yes, this is where he goes for the pin to Swerve Strickland, but it only got him the 1-2.7 count. This was Swerve Strickland kicks out. This is where Bryan Danielson got him into the bottom right corner of Tina the Turnbuckle. This is where he tried to go for the yes kick. Like, yes, yes. And then let's see what here. This is what he started continuously doing. It's like, yes, yes, yes. And hitting knife edge chops. And he's like, yes. And this is where he Irish whip him right to the other side. This is where he counted. This is where Bryan Danielson flips out right into his reversal into the bottom not bottom, the top left corner. This finisher dodging Swerve Strickland in the process. Try to run, try to close on him. He ducked, try to go for his close on like he usually would do in WWE, but he got intercepted with a sideways strike kick right onto the midsection of Danielson, catching him in midair. This is what made him fell out of the ring, rolling out of the ring. This is where Swerve Strickland slides back up. This is where he runs up, go for a dive, try to go for a diving somersault senton, but Bryan Danielson smartly got back up, tried to get back in the ring, try to go for the counter, move out of the way, he tried to go for suicide dive, but gets nailed with a right hand from Swerve Strickland. And Prince and I was like, yes, he's like, yes, finish him off. And then this is where he tries to suplex him right through Rita the ring post. This is where the fans start chanting, this is awesome, clap, clap. Which this match was awesome. This was the perfect opener. I would say the second match of the night, because obviously the main event is going to deliver. Especially with Adam Copeland taking on Luchasaurus. Like, what's not going to deliver and what's going to disappoint on that match? This is where he tried to do so, but I think this was the plan, because he wedged him, put him right in the tree of woe position, right on the outside, through Rita the ring post and the turnbuckle support, the support of the turnbuckles. This is where Swerve Strickland was like, oh yes, like now's my chance to hit his double stomp maneuver, which he did so, which looked dangerously brutal, to the point that it could end any wrestler's career. But fortunately, Bryan Danielson's career still continues, like, for two reasons for that matter. But anyways, this is where he hits the double foot stomp right through the hardest part of the ring, which is the ring apron. I was like, dang, like, if I was a normal person, he would probably be handicapped right now, like, with a move like Swerve Strickland did right there. And then this is where he throws Danielson back in the ring. This is where he tried to do the full proper foot stomp maneuver, which he unsuccessfully did. This is where Bryan Danielson caught him in his leg, flips him over, tried to go for the Boston Crab, or at least the single leg Boston Crab, which he did so. He bent it right back, bending right back in his back, right with his heel of his foot touching his thigh. This is where he's bending it back right in the middle of the ring canvas. And this is where Swerve Strickland tried to get out of it. This is where Bryan Danielson bends it right back and nearly snapped Swerve Strickland's thigh in the process of doing the Achilles lock right onto his cankle and his Achilles, yeah, into a lock, bending it back, and making him scream. He got up in his single foot, like, with Danielson still hanging on, like no. Man on his one knee saying, like, no, please, get out, get off. And this is where he started kicking, tried to go to Danielson, hitting him right in his face. This is where Swerve Strickland finally grabbed onto the ropes. This is where IBM's like, all right, like, he's on the rope. There's a rope break, like 1, 2, and this is where Danielson gets up. This is where Danielson, like, I don't care, I'm pulling off the ropes. This is where Danielson went up right into the top rope, like, diagonal from Swerve Strickland right onto the top left corner of Tina the Turnbuckle. This is where he goes up right on the top rope. This is where he tried to go for his drop kick. But I guess Danielson kind of wasn't lucky enough, or didn't realize that genuinely in wrestling, when you hit a move successfully the first time, it's only a 1 out of 10% that is, or it's going to be a 1 out of 100% gonna be a chance that it's gonna happen again, because this which it wasn't the case because Swerve Strickland intercepts. He tried to go for a top rope right onto the go for a top rope suplex, but Bryan Danielson counters. He flips it right under him and then trips him over, land on his backside and to the place that does not hurt, right onto to that hard part of the support of the turnbuckle piece right here. And this is where he goes up in the top rope, hits a suplex right off the top rope, look like he used to do like back in his 2013, 2014, 2015 days. And this is when Prince Nana's like, no, don't let him keep on doing this. Don't let him keep on doing this to you. Like, don't let him have the continuous advantage. This is where Danielson got him down on the ground. This is where he started grabbing both his hands. This is where he started hitting him with the stomping him right into his head, into kicking his head in, nearly caving it right to the ground. He started stomping and hammering his head, Swerve Strickland's head right through the canvas with his foot, like boom, boom, boom. And then this is where he hits a slow knee strike right in the double, and then brought him back down. Continued stepping on his head like stop, looking like his heel self when he turned heel on AJ Styles for the WWE World Championship back at the end of 2018, 5 years ago. Shout out to that. This is where he finally turns it into the label lock, and this is where he got it locked in. This is where he has his arm stretching out like if it's some kind of a arm dragging abdominal stretch kind of submission maneuver. This is where Swerve Strickland looked like he couldn't take it no more. This is where he was like, "No, I won't give up." And this is where surprise out of nowhere, like this was like out of nowhere, he had his foot in the most in the most shocking way. Like it was a miracle for the former AEW Tag Team Champion. Prince Nana was like, "Yeah, you got it. Like you're still in here." Like this is where Bryan Danielson goes for a roundhouse kick right onto him. This is where he tried to go for a yes kick. I was like, I hope he can get the second time because usually we get successful the first time. You're not going to do it the second time. This is where he ran his leg right through the other side of the turnbuckle in the bottom right corner, where him trying to go to the top left corner where Swerve Strickland is. This is where he ran, and I guess his knee gave out because he actually hit it right through the turnbuckle way too hard when he tried to run back doing those yes kicks, or should I say the gentleman's drop kick, I should say. This is what gave Swerve Strickland the chance to hit his finishing move, which is that back heel swinging kick right into Danielson's head when he had both his knees down. Both his knees. This is where Swerve Strickland goes right onto the top rope. This is where he tried to go for the double legs down. This is where he did so successfully. This looked like Swerve Strickland was going to earn himself an opportunity for Christian Cage's TNT Championship. You in 31. But anyway, this is where he pins him. This is where Aubrey Edwards counts 1, 2. This is where he kicks out at 8.9 seconds. He's like, Tony Schiavone was like, somehow he just kicked out. Like, how? And then this is where Swerve Strickland tried to go for. This is where he hits his other finishing move that what's that maneuver like when he have in a wheelbarrow position dropped into a driver, like boom, right off the top rope. This is where he thought he was going to get a win right here. This is where Aubrey Edwards counts the 1, counts the 2, kicks out at 2.5 seconds. I was like, yeah, there's nothing that's going to put away the former Daniel Bryan and former WWE champion. This is where Prince Nana had enough of this. He was like, and he was trying to cuss out Aubrey Edwards, like, do your damn job, like count like you should be doing for my leader here, Swerve Strickland. And then she was like, I'm just doing my job here, and you can't tell me what to do. You're the employee, like, and just a colleague, like, and I tell you what you need to do while you're being ringside, or if not, you're gonna be ejected out of this match. And then this is where Swerve Strickland grabs this African like weapon up, and this is where he tried to hit it. This is where Hangman Adam Page grabbed it out of his hands. His hard weapon. This is where Bryan Danielson hits the running knee, but no, this is where Swerve Strickland tried to go for that half Nelson wheelbarrow driver again. This is where Bryan Danielson counters it into the most devastating move in all sports entertainment. The surprise roll for the 1-2, 2.9 count. This is where he tried to clothesline Bryan Danielson. He ducks, runs back to the top, the bottom right corner of Tina Turnbull. This is where he finally hits the running knee. A rule that's vice versa. Like if you don't successfully do it the first time, he's gonna successfully get it successfully executed on the second attempt, which that happened this time at this match against Swerve Strickland. And this is where he finally gets the 1, 2, 3, and finally get an opportunity for Christian Cage's TNT Championship. And I don't understand why I said finally, but I'll say he gets an opportunity for Christian Cage's TNT Championship, which is probably Danielson's biggest win yet, because after all, this is the Tuesday Night War special of Dynamite going up against WWE's developmental show, NXT. And then it's been announced that it will be Christian Cage taking on Bryan Danielson this Saturday at AEW's Collision. And what do you think about this match? And do you think that Danielson deserved to win? I sure did, because it was a long way come since having this match from being the AEW Championship, like from a year ago, taking on Hangman Adam Page. But yeah, he's gonna finally get an opportunity for that match. This is where, and who do you think is gonna win? Do you think it's Christian Cage is gonna retain, or is it gonna be Bryan Danielson that's gonna become the new AEW TNT Championship, dethroning the master of the hatred of deceased wrestling fathers, or wrestlers as fathers. But yeah, but I should say the battle of the former WWE wrestlers. But yeah, whatever how to be described, I think that it's gonna be a great match, and yeah, maybe Christian Cage probably retain this championship, doing some heel shenanigans with his left hand of destruction, and his protege Nick Wayne will probably be in there trying to help him retain his championship. I should say right hand of destruction, because he called right hand rather than left hand. This is where we got a hype video with Samoa Joe with a cigar and outside into the saying like he's the king of television and the ROH television championship, and then he took MJF over the limit and nearly beat the Salt of the Earth. And then also he's like, I go out there and takes what I want, and then take whatever one and however I want to, and then he's like, this Saturday at Collision, I'm gonna bring my ascension for its greatness, and my dominance as king of television. And this is where we have Jericho up next taking on Powerhouse Will Hobbs, which I'll say at first Jericho looked like he might have 50% of a chance, but towards the end, like it was like Jericho just couldn't stand the chance. And you're gonna see exactly why when I talk about this match right here, because Powerhouse Hobbs was basically annihilating poor Jericho, like getting most of the offense and the advantage over him. Started hitting right hand, striking him, hitting him with double-A spine busters after double-A spine buster, and even after double-A spine buster. I was like, wow, this is worse than when he threw Simon right to Barry Barricade at AEW's Wembley Stadium event All In. Now, this is where he continuously started hitting right hands after right hands and forearms. This is where he keep hitting him right between the eyes. This is why to put away the legendary Chris Jericho. This is where he keep hitting spine buster after spine buster. But the problem with Jericho was keep kicking out every time he keep hitting the spine buster. This is where he started slamming him. This is where he started kneeing him right to his back. Started continuously kneeing him. This is where he's like, stay down, Jericho, or you're gonna keep taking these beating. This is where Aubrey was like, all right, come on, off his neck, come on, 1, 2, 3, like you need to do your job, like to be a professional. This is where Aubrey was like, see you, and this is where Don Callis was talking absolute rubbish onto Jericho, saying, see, this is what you get when you face against Don Callis and the rest of the Don Callis family. And then this is where Powerhouse Hobbs continuously doing his beat down on poor Jericho with hitting what moves right here? This is where he picks him back up. This is where he tried to go for. This is where he tried to throw him right to the bottom, the top right corner of Tina. This is where Jericho was coming back. He started striking him with right forearms and right hands right onto the former TNT champion. This is where he hits a running forearm right onto Powerhouse Hobbs. He's trying to go for another one. Like, since he couldn't do a double sword tackle, even if he tried, this is where he tried to go for another flying forearm for making it like if he could get a third time, make a third time is the charm. But unfortunately, that wasn't the case because the Powerhouse Will Hobbs threw him right into the bottom right corner of Tina the turnbuckle. This is where he tried to go for a flying splash, but nobody was home. Because Jericho moved out of the way. He hit hard face first and rest of the body first, right into the Tina the turnbuckle. This is where Jericho hits the code breaker right onto Powerhouse Hobbs. This is where Jericho was like, okay, I need to put him away. This is where he tried to pin him. This is where IBR's counter 1, 2, and this is where Hobbs kicks out at the last 2 seconds, like of 2.8 seconds, I would say. The last 0.2 seconds, I should say. And this is where Jericho trying to go for the walls of Jericho, like trying to attempt to do so, like which he had it locked in on one hand, but this is where Powerhouse Hobbs was basically brutalizing poor Jericho, hitting right hands right onto the Ocho. This is where RBR was there like, oh, you had to get up 1, 2. This is where he gets up, spins around. This is where he goes back to Jericho's corner, or Jericho in the middle of the ring. He hits him with another double-A spine buster. This is where he's like, this is where he gets him back up, trying to go for another double-A spine buster, or more likely turn it into try to go for a power slam, a devastating. This is where he pushes him right into the power. This is where he kicks, he rolls out of it. Pushes him face first right to the exact same Tina turnbuckle on the bottom right corner when he missed Jericho into that brutaling splash. And this is where Jericho kicked him right in the midsection. This is where he runs right to the ropes, bottom side of the ropes, hits him with a chop block. This is where he finally goes for the walls of Jericho. This is where he successfully got him locked in, bending him back. This is where he had locked in right into the left middle side of the ring. This is where IBA was like, do you give up or surrender, or you don't? Like, this is where Powerhouse Hobbs like, no, never surrender. This is where Jericho had him like that, bending it back, bending his whole entire lower body back, making it look, trying to get it all the way back up to his spinal, making his spinal crack and get up to his upper back, having his legs touching his upper back, trying to bend him back so badly. But this is where Powerhouse Hobbs managed to start rolling out of it. This is where slowly but surely start getting out of the way. This is where he started using his strength. This is where he started turning this match back around, like getting out of the Jericho. The walls of Jericho, getting out of the walls of Jericho. This is where he grabs him by his head and squeezing his head. This is where he picks him up and hits him with a world's strongest slam. And this is where he put double hands right onto Jericho's midsection. This is where Aubrey's count to 1, 2, but he kicks out. Jericho kicks out at the 2. 2.999 is it? And this power stop's like, you gotta be kidding me. And then this is where he hits another slam, a world's strongest slam. This is where Excalibur said, I never seen Jericho been dominated like this before. This is where, and I was like, me neither. Like, yeah, like this is the first time I've seen him this much dominant. And this is where he put his head right onto Jericho's head. This is where IBR's counted to 1, counted to 2, and counted to 3, and finally put Jericho out of his misery. And this is where Don Callis came in the ring, celebrated with Powerhouse Hobbs. This is where he started brutalizing Jericho even more, like he was doing with Kenny Omega last week at AEW Dynamite last Wednesday. This is where he was like, what he said, like after he brutalized him in a post-match beatdown, saying, like, after spinebuster after spinebuster, he's like, smiling. Fans were booing, like, boo, like, you suck. And then this is where Powerhouse Hobbs was like, he's like, get these. Like, that's what he was like. Like, he was like, and I was like, whatever that means. Like, I understand. I was like, whatever that catchphrase means, but I believe it'll probably be very catchy if he keeps that up. But I was like, he does suck for teaming with Don Callis. Like, that's my opinion. And what do you think what's next for this feud? Like, and when do you think that Team Omega and Jericho finally going to end the Don Callis family once and for all? Like, y'all let me know straight down in the comment section down below. I would say Full Gears, but it's like this is the feud that's going to probably last for half a year from now, probably at Revolution. But we're going to see in the upcoming future. But let's move on to the next segment, which was Adam Cole doing more favors for Roderick Strong. But this time is the vignette of him doing some outdoor yard work for Roderick Strong in his backyard in Roddy's house. He said, I got a few things you need to do. I cut the grass and do some other yard work. And then this is where Adam Cole was like, what? Well, why you have me do all this work when you also have your other two friends right here, Matt Taven and Mike Bennett? Like, you know what? Never mind. I'll just get it done and get it over with. Like, forget it. Like, and then this is where Matt Taven was like, grass cutting out, trying to be a smartass. And this is where Roderick Strong did the best thing that he could ever do. Slapped him right across the chest. He was like, shut up right now. Like, let's hope it didn't make him more envious, because he already gave him a deadly chop last year around, like, at the beginning of 2022, like, when he renamed himself Gunther when he was still Walter at the time until at the end of the match. This is where Adam Cole started doing it with one leg, with him riding on the leg scooter, like, with a leg. This is where he's like, this is where he finally got all the grass cut. This is where he's like, I gotta go home, guys. Like, I need to change the shirt. And this is where Roddy's like, no, I already got you covered with that. I have something in the house for you, actually. And this is where he had a Neck Strong shirt on, and he's like, really, you have to give me this shirt? And this is where, and then this is where Adam goes like, why the hell you have a giraffe for? And this is where Matt Taven answers questions like, we got it at the hospital gift shop for a gift for Roderick Strong of having a Neck Strong, because giraffes have very strong and long necks. Like, and I was like, really? Like, do you really have to be this goofy right now? Like, I'll say this is definitely the goofiest wrestling of the night, I suppose. If nothing else, of course. This is where. What are you doing? This is what. And he was like, and then he's like, you gotta get, and he's like, be grateful, man. We got you that scooter, and then he's like, we got this giraffe for Russell, the most next strongest of all entire animal kingdom. Like, you ever seen a giraffe fight? And he goes wiggle his head like, yeah, that's the. I was like, yeah, but that's the giraffe's only advantage is their necks, because they could use it as a deadly weapon against their arch animal rivals. And he's like, and this is where, but anyway, this is where Adam Cole's like, all right, I get it, what how they do. And he's like, there is a little bit weird. There's no self-service around here. And he's like, also, the single TV in the house. I want to watch Dynamite, see what Max is doing. And then this is where Roddy's like, this could be weird. This is where keep yourself again. And second off, TV is the devil, Adam. It is the absolute devil, like MJF. And he's like, and this is what Adam Cole's like. And he's like, Adam, Roddy, like, I'm glad I can help you right now, but I really need to get surgery on my ankle. Like, and this is where he's like, and this has been so long overdue. Like, I keep frosted. And this is where Roddy started continuing to shout out for him, like, Adam, I go, and I just need one more favor for you. And he's like, and Adam Cole's like, really? And then I think, this is like he is using Adam Cole, because why else he's asking for plenty of favors, and he knows that his ankle's not doing good and he needs surgery. Well, at least in kayfabe, he's using him as a clutch. But anyways, yeah, like, what do y'all think about this? Like, what do you think what's this heading off to? Like, do you think that this is going to be Adam Cole realizing that Roderick Strong's no longer a friend, and and the Kingdom created a monster, or do you think that he's gonna get them away from the Kingdom, and we're gonna see this tag team feud with Roddy and Adam, the two former Undisputed Era guys, taking on the Kingdom, Adam Cole's former allies from Ring of Honor? I'm gonna let y'all to be the judge of that down in the comment section down below. But up next, we got the NXT, not NXT. I'm thinking of the AEW for the AEW International Championship. Orange Cassidy taking on the current champion, Rey Fenix. I'm thinking of the International Champion like the North American title. I suppose it's probably their AEW's version of the NXT mid-card title in a way, if not the TBS. But this is where we finally get the match. Like, and I was like, who's gonna be? We're gonna see. Are we gonna see Rey Fenix remain is international champion, or can Orange Cassidy be the first ever two-time international championship? Well, we're going to see right here. This is where we start hitting forearms back at each other. This is where Orange Cassidy start hitting forearms multiple times. This is where Rey Fenix hits a running strike clothesline right onto Freshly Squeezed. This is where Rey Fenix hits the most impressive wheelbarrow reversal maneuver. This is where we try to go for a reversal Boston Crab. This is where Orange Cassidy flipped up. Irish whipped him right into the corner. This is where Irish Cat, he tried to run a close on him. This is where he strikes him with a forearm. This is where he hits him with a running top rope sliding kick right into the face of Orange Cassidy. This is where he pins him. This is where he gets a 1 and a 2. This is where he kicks out by Orange Cassidy kicks out of the maneuver. This is where Rey Fenix was like, all right, like this is where I'm gonna have to go up right into the ropes. This is where he hits him with a Phoenix Frog splash right onto the Freshly Squeezed. This is where he pins him with a 1-2, but he kicks out at 2.999. This is where he's like, wow, like he kicked out just like that. This is where Orange Cassidy got back up. This is where he kicks him on his kick Rey Fenix in his back, makes him sending him into the outside in the ringside area. This is where Orange Cassidy rolled out the ring. This is where he tried to Irish whip him right into the barricade, which I'm not sure if it's Barry anymore. This is where he struck him right to his back. This is where he threw him right into the other side of the barricade, which he made him flip right over the barricade. This is where Orange Cassidy's like, what to do now? Like, I don't feel like picking him back. I'm getting back over here. And this is where I noticed the sign that said, Simon, give me an up. And I thought I might point that out and give a shout out to you, Simon Miller. And make sure y'all check out Simon Miller's ups and down videos of NXT and AEW Dynamite tonight on tomorrow morning on YouTube at World Culture Wrestling. Shout out to you, Simon Miller, and the rest of you World Culture guys. And I'll give you an up for that as well, for that fan to have a Simon give me an up sign. But anyway, this is where they took the action out into the audience. This is where they hit a couple of blows on each other. This is where Orange Cassidy throws Rey Fenix back into the ringside area. This is where he throws him back first, right into Rita the ring post, which that's not a pretty sight at all. Next to getting hit in the face with that ring item, I should say. This is where Rey Fenix tried to hit him with a chop. This is where Orange Cassidy shoves him and hit him back first, damaging that back and spine of Rey Fenix. This is where the Freshly Squeezed man rolled out of the ring and renewed the count so they won't get double count out. This is where he throws Rey Fenix back in the ring. This is where he try to go back. This is where Rey Fenix kicks him right into the face. This is where Rey Fenix gets back on his feet right onto the ring apron. This is where he tries to go for a swat and kick right onto Orange Cassidy, but he grabs onto it, slams him back, and he hits his back first, the already damaged back, right through the hardest part of the ring apron. After getting hit with the second hardest part of the ring, which is the ring post. This is where Orange Cassidy throws him back in the ring. This is where Orange Cassidy is like, he's like, okay, I'm going to finish this boy once and for all and regain my international championship. This is where fans start chanting, Freshly Squeezed. This is where he goes for a roll-up, rolling counter European uppercut, the most impressive one I've seen tonight. This is where he tried to lift him up, tried to go for a Mexican muscle buster, but his back gave out when he tried to go for a top rope and hit a maneuver like that. This is where he tried to run up right to Orange Cassidy. He hits a sliding kick right onto what's his name, to to right onto Ray Phoenix. Hit a diving tornado DDT right onto Ray Phoenix. This is where he runs up. This is where he goes for a flying head scissor spinning DDT right onto Ray Phoenix. This is where he goes for a pinfall. 1, 2, but Ray Phoenix kicks out at 2.8 seconds. This is where Orange Cassidy said the elbow pad comes right off because I'm finishing once and for all. Which he tried to go for his signature or finishing move. I believe it's his finishing move. The same finishing move that I always keep reversing on AEW Fight Forever with my character Super Ninja Austin, which is the Orange Punch. But this is where Ray Phoenix intercepts with a super kick. This is where Ray Phoenix what? He just tried to hit the most perfectionist move in all professional wrestling, which is the rolling cutter maneuver. But his back gave out before he can even attempt to do the cutter position. This is where Orange Cassidy took advantage. This is where he lifts him up, hits him with the hard beach break maneuver. This is where he pins him. This is where he hits a 1, 2, but he nearly got the 3, but he got 2.9999, 0.1 away from being 3. That's where he tried to go for a orange punch, which he finally did so. This is where he hits. This is where he goes for the sliding roll up. This is where the referee counted the 1, 2, 3. I was like, Orange Cassidy literally won and became the first ever 2-time international champion. Like, how did Orange Cassidy did this? And let me give you a little spoiler warning that this won't be the only title match that is going to be a surprising title change on tonight's AEW Title Tuesday bout. And this really showed that this is a must-see episode, and they show why they call it a Tuesday night Tuesday title match or Title Tuesday edition, because it's true. Like it is a Title Tuesday match that you have 2 title match Tuesdays that you must see that you'll never forget. Like, this is a Title Tuesday match that you would never want to forget and want to miss seeing. Like. And this was really good. And what do you think of Orange Cassidy finally winning back the title that he lost a month ago against Jon Moxley? Y'all let me know straight down in the comment section down below. This is where we get the close-up of the live interview action of the portrait of the Swedish opera singer in denial, Toni Storm. And this is where she had her personal interviewer interviewing her in the backstage studio, saying, like, at this evening, there's not enough summer. I give my I came in and improvised, and I give a short of the levels of the moment. And then don't worry, I have all great feelings. It's a silent, is a picture. And who is the noise when we have face and play the picture? I played a picture. And I was like, okay. Here's where the show to play the picture, which basically have her doing this dance routine, like her Swedish opera dance routines, like looking like she's rehearsing before she's having some big stage show. When they were doing this, when they still had a commercial break, I was like, really? Like, you really have to be doing this right now? Like, can you save it for when you actually have rehearsal so you can get ready for your next opera show? Do you really have to put it on the show, especially with these fans at Cable Dama Arena? Like, really? But anyway, this is where, luckily, they ended that with the commercial break. This is where we see another quick squash match, the second week in a row, but this time was against Matt Sydal, which is the former Evan Bourne. This is where he grabs Matt Sydal, Wardlow. He grabs Matt Sydal, grabs him, carries him, and spine buster him right through the bottom right corner of Tina Turner, spearing him like about a dozen times in a row until Aubrey Edwards said, like, all right, you got 1, 2, 3, like 2 seconds away. Like, calm down, Wardlow. Like you get your point. Like, this is where he ended it early, making this the quickest squash match I have ever seen in AEW with a AEW regular, like he did with Griff Garrison. Like, because after that he hits the Powerbomb of Symphony, which I'm not sure if he was done yet, because he hit the second Powerbomb of Symphony And then not only he did a second one, he did the third and final one for the 1, 2, 3. And then I was like, wow, like he really won that, or not the 1, 2, 3. He just knocked him out. He won by a knockout, I should say. My apologies. He hit the third one. This is what I realized. Like, okay, he's not capable of continuing this battle or this of this contest. Like timekeeper, ring the bell. And then this is where the timekeeper did ring the bell. This is where it's like, here's your winner by a knockout, Wardlow. And he walked out the same like he did last week when he wrestled Griff Garrison. And then, oh yeah, speaking of Griff Garrison, I forgot the reveal that Cody Rhodes and Jay Cargill was not the only former AEW wrestler that made an appearance on NXT now, because we've seen the vignette of seeing his watching his father in his days in WCW as the Hollywood Blondes, and this is where he revealed himself. He revealed himself, and he's gonna be making an appearance on NXT possibly next week, maybe his first match. And do you think he's gonna have his first match next week when he finally revealed his face? And now he's officially on WWE, no longer in AEW. And what do you think of this? This was a kind of a shock, like especially on this night, like when they're going head to head with AEW. Like it could have been any other night, but it had to be this night particularly. What do you think about this? Think about that. About a quick review about NXT while I'm doing this AEW review. But y'all let me know down in the comment section down below. And what do you think how WWE is going to utilize the former Varsity Blondes? Yeah, the Varsity Blondes. Y'all let me know straight in the comment section down below. And do you think they're gonna make him similar to his father, like back in his days in the early Attitude Era in the mid '90s? Y'all let me know straight in the comments about that as well. But this is where we got action with Hangman Adam Page because he's about to be in a non-title match, which Jay White is not the championship. He just stole the title from MJF, and the only way it looks like he's about to get that title back is when he faces him at Full Gear. But we're going to talk about more about that after the match. But I couldn't help but notice that this is a similar storyline like they did with what's her name Nyla Rose with Jade Cargill, like last year when she stole her TBS championship, and the only way she won it back when she faced her at Full Gear. Coincidence? Like how this happened? Like AEW did the storyline once again, and then we're probably going to see MJF probably win that title back, unless Jay White can prove him wrong and he can be a better champion than he is. And then he showed him that he's not tofu, which I think he is, even though he's very cool. Which that's a rhyme I came up with, like when I was watching this episode of AEW Dynamite, which we're gonna review right here, right now. This is where it was face to face. This is where Jay White were out of the ring. This is where he was out of the ring. This is where Excalibur reminded everybody last year when he was the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship, when he was currently signed with New Japan Pro Wrestling. Like he was, there was a crossover match, a four-way match, where it was him, Kazuchika Okada, Adam Cole, and Hangman Adam Page in the Fatal Four, which he beat Hangman Adam Page before, which was also with Adam and Kazuchika Okada. But this is where he got back in the ring. This is where he went for a grappling. This is where Hangman Adam Page was ready to lock horns with the switchblade because he got locked in his horns. This is where he pushes him right into the corner turnbuckle. This is where the referee was like, 1, 2, 3, 4. Like, all right, Hangman, like, let go of Jay. Like, this is where Jay is like, guns up. But Hangman's like, it looks like Hangman's are up because he made that true, made that metaphoric statement true because he fly right off the top rope, fly right onto him. This is where he mocks him. This is where they point like, yeah, that's how you do it, boys. Like the Juice Robinson and the Guns. It's like, okay, you do it like that. And this is where he hits a knife edge chop, which I hope that's not making Gunther envious and add him on the list of chops. That's very devastating because he fell straight back, Jay White. Perhaps he could be overselling it, but I don't think he was selling it because it looked that devastating. This is where he throws Jay White back in the ring. Let's see right here. This is where Jay White got back in the ring, turnovering the match. This is where he tried a headlock. This is where Hangman Page counters, hits him with a strike right hand. This is where he hits him with a right hand back. This is where he tried to hit him with a big boot. He caught Jay White caught Hangman's boot and hit him with a dragon screw, slamming him right to the other side of the ring. This is where Jay White was like, gun still up in the air. And he's like, and I'm gonna show that I'm a better champion than that slob scumbag you call your hero MJF. This is where right here. And this is where Hangman started punching and hitting chops right back. This is where Jay White tried to go. This is where he tried Irish whip him to a corner, try to hit a running maneuver. This is where Hangman Adam Page counters it, caught him in the midair, and hit him with a Death Valley driver, which is my signature move onto Fight Forever and 23, which I need to start doing blogging videos to show you what I mean. This is where Hangman Adam Page hit him. This is where Hangman Adam Page got back up. This is where he hits a striking chop, a bit loud, but mostly silent. This is where he hits another one. I was like, just don't do it too much because Gunther might notice this and he's going to probably trying to murk you. But anyway, this is where he tried to Irish whip Jay White to the other side of the ropes. This is where he twists his arm under back. This is where he hits him with a right hand right into the head of Hangman Adam Page. And then this is where he runs right into the rope. This is where he did the crossbody, a running crossbody. This is where Hangman Adam Page caught him in midair, hits him with a fallaway slam. This is where Hangman Adam Page hits a running perfectionate, the absolute perfectionate running moonsault that I've ever seen in this match, like, or at least in wrestling in recent time, of course. This is where you count. This is where the pin. This is where referee count the 1-2. This is where Jay White kicks out. Like, come on, like I had him right there. Like I showed that I'm better than the Switchblade man. This is where right here we Jay White start coming back in the match. Let's see right here. This is where he tried to Irish whip Tofu Jay White right into the ropes. This is where he slides down right to the corner. This is where he's like, no, I had enough. Like I'm not gonna fight him no more. This is where Hangman Page like, oh, you want to bet? This is where he hits a crossbody right off the ropes. This is where he tried to go on the ringside. This is where Jay White did the smartest thing in professional wrestling, like Samoa Joe would do: walk out and move out of the way, or run out of the way, more like, before he had a chance to even touch him in any way. This is where Hangman tried to get back up. This is where trying to go for a strike right onto Hangman Page, but he countered into a pop-up powerbomb right through the harsh part of the ring apron. That made Kevin Owens proud. And then this is where he throws him right back in the ring. This is where the Cowboy got him right where he wanted him. This is where he hits him with another pop-up sit-out powerbomb right onto the Jay White, but he only got a 2.999 count. This is where Hangman Page like, what I got to do to put him away? And he's like, oh, that's right. Like, but before he could do anything else, this is where he makes sure Jay White would get him back up. This is where Jay White counters and he grabbed onto his leg. This is where he hit him with a striking elbow strike right onto Jay White's head. But he countered and hit him with an exploder suplex, which probably would have made Sami Zayn proud, from the Switchblade, hitting Hangman right through the Tina turnbuckle. This is where he tried to get up right onto the ring apron. Once after he did that, when he rolled out of the ring, this is where he tried to go for either a back suplex or an Olympic slam. This is where he hits. This is where he tried to go for a knee breaker, which he did so. He landed, hit his right knee right to the harsh part of the ring. Like, I was like, Jay White, are you insane? Like, you know that could shatter his knee, because that's the hardest part of the ring. Like, don't you watch Ups and Downs? But anyways, this is where he renews the count, so none of them wouldn't get double count out, but I don't think there was any use of that because the referee wouldn't have done it because regardless he's gonna make sure that both men gonna see if they can still can continue into this contest. But yeah, either way, I think it was probably a great idea for him regardless. This is where he throws Heyman anyway. This is where he rolls him back in the ring. This is where he started dragging onto his leg, holding on because both men were down on the ground. Like, but Heyman Page got back in the ring. This is where he was hanging in the bottom right corner of Tina the Turnbuckle. This is where Jay White tried to go for an attack. This is where he learned this trick from Miz out of the playbook because when Heyman Page tried to kick, this is where he caught his leg and he slammed both of his knees down on the canvas. He bent his leg back, trying to snap it in two like if it was a piece of twig or celery stick. I was like, oh my God, like I hope Heyman Page's leg is okay. Like I was like, yeah, he definitely learned this from the Miz because I haven't seen nobody did this move except for the A-lister himself. This is where Jay White hits a spinning a burning hammer Uranagi, which only got him the 2.999 count. This is where Jay White's like, how that did not put him away for good. This is where he tried to go for the Blade Runner. This is where Heyman Page rolled out of it. This is where Jay White caught him with a knife edge chop, the loudest knife edge chop. I was like, it looks like he's about to be Gunther's next victim because nobody does a loudest and devastating chop. Don't do a chop but him. And he's probably gonna show you how it's actually done, and then put you out and put you in your misery. And then this is where he hits him with a chop. This is where Heyman Page spin around and hits him with a discus forearm and hit him with a second one where he ran right to the ropes. This is where Heyman Page tried to go for the buckshot lariat, getting ready for him to get up so he could do the maneuver. This is where Jay White tried to. This is where Jay White grabbed onto his leg and hit him with a dragon screw, which I believe was the exact same leg. He bent his leg back on that bottom left corner of Tina the Turnbuckle. This is where, right to the ropes, this is where Jay White had him into the right, put him back onto right onto the apron. This is where he put him right near the top rope, trying to go for a top rope maneuver. Jay White's like, come on, get up here. And this is where And this is where Hangman Page countered and hit him with a guillotine slam, throat and face first, right into the top part of the support of the turnbuckle. And then this is where Adam landed flat back first, right into the ringside area. This is where Hangman Page tried to go right up in the top rope. This is where he tried to grab onto his legs and try to get his legs getting back to working again and so he could get up right on the top rope to hit a moonsault right off the top, hit him with a moonsault right on the top rope, which he did so right onto him like if he was a male Charlotte Flair. And then this is where he Irish whipped Jay White right into the back in the ring. This is where he tried to go for a buckshot lariat, but he's like, you know what? I'm just going to hit him with a regular lariat. But this is where Jay White caught him, and he slammed him face first. This is where he hits him with a German suplex. And then this is where he had him holding on to him in the German suplex position. This is where the referee counted 1, 2. Hangman Page kicks out soon after. And then this is where Jay White have him in a sleeper hold. And they try to go for a half Nelson suplex. This is where Hangman Page elbows in the counter. Just where Jay White intercepts and hits him with a shin-breaking chop block. This is where he hits him with a snapback sleeper suplex. I was like, hopefully Gunther don't get more mad at Jay White than he already is, like because he did so. This is where Hangman Page caught him with the lariat without the buckshot. This is where Hangman Page rolled out of the ring. This is where he tried to do a proper one, but Jay White intercepts into a Blade Runner, but the Hangman Page counters into a secondary finishing move, which is the Dead Eye. This is where the guns try to distract the referee, so he won't get the cover of a 1-2-3 because Hangman Page had this one. Like he hit him with the Dead Eye, hit Jay White right with the Dead Eye. This is where the referee's like, all right, like get out of the ringside area. This is where Prince Nana tried to grab onto him. It's where he tried to hit him with it, but he botched the move. This is where he tried to put it around his arm for some reason. I was like, why you're doing that, Prince Nana? Like, that just makes no sense. But it helped Jay White take advantage because he grabbed him off the ropes. This is where he hit the most devastating move in all sports entertainment, surprise roll-up, which he was holding on to his tights. He got the 1-2-3. I was like, wow, like this is the first time I actually saw a Switchblade Jay White gets the victory with the surprise roll-up. And I guess this one was definitely the most devastating move in all sports entertainment because one, he was grabbing onto his tights to make it more easier for him to hang on to him and hit him with the roll-up. And two, Prince Nana was there to distract him, which he unsuccessfully hit him with any kind of blows that knocks him out, or any kind of cheap shot right onto the Hangman Cowboy. But yeah, Jay White remains to be undefeated into singles action, and I'll say I think you should keep this up until Full Gear, until the beginning of November. And as much as I would love to see rather be Adam Cole taking on MJF, I guess this could be telling a story about Jay White's ready to be AEW World Champion, and he's going to do it. He's going to get an opportunity by stealing his championship, by bribing MJF of giving him the opportunity already. And then he's still holding on to the AEW championship. This is where Hangman Page was very pissed at Prince Nana for distracting him, and he started chasing after him. And then Prince Nana was running like a typical little bastard heel coward that he is, and he started running backstage. And the Hangman Page was running and trying to get his hands on him, and this could be a tease that he could possibly have a match with him in order to get another match against the Swerve's house man, I guess you could call him. But this is where MJF comes out back in the ring. But back to the story. Like I believe he's gonna suffer his first loss when MJF finally gets an opportunity. And let's just say, this is what I'll be thinking. Like MJF, but what if MJF could not be is really not being framed by this guy? Perhaps this could be a guy that he could be associating with. Like it could be someone like an Adam Cole, or even someone that Adam Cole is associating. Perhaps a Roderick Strong, or someone that Roderick Strong's gonna be associated, which could be the Kingdom. Or no, this could be Minions. And then this could be Adam Cole helping MJF, like making sure that Jay White does not be the AEW World Champion, which I don't think he's gonna be. I think Switch, but I think he's pretty cool, like I said. But like what MJF said, he is tofu. And speaking of MJF, I think he's the most greatest. I'll say the most greatest heel to act like a babyface as any heel has ever done in professional wrestling. Because he just went full face mode when he went out to the crowd in Independence, like where he was like, which is also known as Kansas City, of course. This is where he was like, he went right to the Kansas City fans. He's like, cut my music, and he was like, and then this is where he started going straight towards Jay White, and this is where Jay White was like, yeah, Maxwell, it is about you getting the AEW championship back. Well, it's not. Well, it's not for grabs right now until you can prove me otherwise at Full Gear. Well, something like that. But he said, this is where Jay White was like, and this is where the Independence Missouri fans was like, give it back to Jay White. And I was like, yeah, like you might as well give it back because it's not even yours genuinely. And two, like MJF looked like you could beat down all four of you men, like in one at once, like combined, like because he's very pissed to a point that you stole his championship, and he may be a douchebag, and he may be the fans' douchebag, but that's not right. Like stealing is not the answer. He's like after I seen Wardlow and Hangman's, and can you repeat that match? Like I get out there was like no. Like, we we don't want to hear from MJF. They want to hear from the Switchblade himself, Jay White. J.A. White. And then MJF was still insisting of him giving him his belt back because he doesn't belong. This is where Jay White was all like, hey, you shoosh right now. I was like, is this a reference to Chad Gable mocking Chad Gable? He's like, he's something that Chad Gable will never be. But when you shouldn't be saving that time to say that about MJF, he's gonna be something that he'll never be. But I agree with MJF on one thing. That's not really a comparison. And then this is where Jay White was like, yo, scumbag wants the Triple B back, the Bang Bang belt, like. And this when the fans had some very options of words because they started chanting the non-PG words, saying "Shut the F up, clack, 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 clack. Shut the F up." And then this is where they start repeatedly doing this, where he's like, "I was doing to say is like, but I'm gonna wait. Perhaps I should wait until y'all sober up a little bit." And this is where he's like. This is where MJF's like, okay, you know what? Like, I'm gonna be the man here, Jay. I know you better than you know and you because I watch you. And Frank, I'm still not far off. And the Lord knows I am trying. Like, you are the guy who doesn't give a damn about anybody else. You do whatever it takes to get what you want. Like, you will use people, you will abuse people, you will make people. As a matter of fact, those guys sitting around you that you claim to care about, deep down, you and I both know that you could give less of a shit about any of those three. Like, you are using them to get ahead and to get what you want to be. And I would know, Jay, because that's what's right where out of the MJF playbook that you're stealing out of. And unlike you, Jay, one time I wake up, I do the right thing. I get up and try to be a better man now. And this is hard. I hated the beats that beat, but deep down, for the first time in my life, when I look in the mirror, I ain't punching after a flexion, and because for the first time in my life, I have earned their respect, this crowd's respect. And this one of the fans like saying, "Yeah, you sure did." And he's like, "Yeah, he sure did." And everybody starts chanting MJF. And this is where MJF's like, "You are two lives I care about. That my brother Adam Cole, who is out right now, injured, and that needs 2 surgeries on his ankle, and that's my cross to bear." And he's like, you could do your shift enough. And there is that title that you're holding, and you call it a belt, but my friend, that ain't a belt. That is my livelihood. That is my legacy. And then he also stated that when you win the AEW World Championship, like, that makes you the best wrestler in the GD world. And I was like, wow. This is probably the second time I heard him say that word. But he's like, "Jay White, I hate your guts. And if those schmucks wasn't around you, I'll order you breaking your legs and your neck, and you're taking back what is mine. Trust me on that, Jay." And he's like, "However, I will do not let that cloud with my judgment of Jay. I know how talented you are." And he's like, "I know that you're next level. I know that you're elite. And I'm sure someday that you will join the very exclusive club of being an AEW's world champion." And that's exactly what I said. And I was like, yeah, but that day's not there yet. Like, give him about maybe a couple more years, he will be the top guy in AEW. Maybe that one, but that day's not today. Do you understand me on what I'm saying right now? So I'm gonna ask you to do the hard thing for watching your life. Now I'm gonna ask you to do what I've done with Champ. Dig deep, be a man, and show some dignity and some respect, not to me, but to this the sport and to all elite wrestling and to these fans right here. And the fans are like, yeah, like this is speaking truths. I was like, and he's like, give you back what you has not yet to earn. I was like, yeah, like this is what my statement when I'm talking about MJF. And what do you think about MJF being such a babyface at this segment against Jay White? Like when you ask him to give back his AEW World Championship back and actually earn the rights of being champion. And this is what Jay was like, you're just coming out here asking me to give it right back to you? And then this is when he started yapping back. He's like, this was that. But first, I'll get back to you. But first off, like, thank you for coming face to face. Jump me from behind with your cute little devil mask. And he's like, you're just asking for this. Like, you know how this works. Like, you can't just ask for this title back. You just have to earn it. And I was like, that's what he just said. Like, that's kind of hypocritical what you just said, Jay. Like, even though you're the coolest wrestler of them all, but you just make statement. He's like, how about facing me for this title at Full Gear in Los Angeles? I was like, oh yeah, like AEW Full Gear will be in Los Angeles. Like, and I wonder who's gonna make their debut. But that's when we're gonna talk about AEW Full Gear in the news. But he was like, but Max. He's like, Max about 3 times in a row. Like, Max can't be patient if you can't wait. Like you said, use your kitchens, just come on down here and take it from me. But something tells me with us 5 here, you don't have the guts and the squad to come down here to back you up. Like you have 3 people that can tolerate you, and if you have 3 people that can team up with you, you put your 4 up against the Bang Bang Gang Bullet Club Go, and if you win, maybe you get the Bang Bang belt back, the 4 Bs. And he's like, Juice Robinson like, hey, Freeman, before you leave, Freeman. This is what Juice Robinson came and said. That I heard through the grapevine that next week there's a Dynamite Diamond Dozen Battle Royal, baby, for to win that stupid ring that you care about so much. And I throw my name in the tournament because I'm going to win that battle royal and I'm going to whoop your ass and I'm going to take your ring and they're going to have everything that you own, you idiot. And we're going to, guess what? When that's all done, I'm going to give you a little present, something that you're going to really going to like. And then this word Colton goes like, oh, what you got? And this word Jay Watts, I already got it right. And here's right there, a roll of laundry quarters. It had your name written all over it, buddy, old boy. Right there, Freeman. $10 in quarters worth. And he's like, you know what I do with these? Sonny Jack? It's the jaws. So we're going to ruin your life. I'm going to pull raw quarters. And he's like, right up. Like, and before he can finish his statement, this is where he's like, hey, you're not going to come in with me like that. Like, I'm going to knock you out if you ever have an opportunity, you piece of shit. And then this is where you got just the microphone down. This is where he's like, I'm going to come back for that championship. Like, maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, probably not next week, but I will. Be back for my championship. This is what Jay was like. And then it goes for them, it goes to you. Like, if you would, and for all, for you and the MJF fans, if y'all not down with that, we got 2 words for you: guns up. I was like, what y'all trying to be, the Bullet Club Gold version of D-Generation X, but more cooler. But I'll say without the guns, of course. And while you being a title stealer. But this is where we got more of the dance segment with Toni Storm, because she started showing into the during the commercial break when they have the small screen of both, like small screen of AEW of the commercial, and the other show that little dancing segment that Toni Storm was having to announce on her personal interview. this is where we got the second pay-per-view match of the night. I'm not pay-per-view, I mean the second title match of the night, which I would say this was possibly the third match of the night. Next to Bryan Danielson taking on Swerve Strickland, which I'll say Orange Cassidy taking on Orange Cassidy with Ray Phoenix earns the spot of being the fourth match of the night. But this is where we got the AEW Women's World Championship match with the champ Saraya defending her title against Hikaru Shida, the two-time former AEW Women's World Champion. And I was thinking, like, will she become the first ever three-time Women's World Champion, or we're gonna see Saraya remaining as champion? Like, we're gonna see at the end of this match. This is where this match started. This is where they started going for elbow strikes and forearm strikes. Well, mostly Hikaru Shida would start doing that. But Saraya had too much of it. She couldn't take no more. This is where she started sliding back right into the middle ropes. And this is where referee had to get as Hikaru Shida off the 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is where Saraya started coming back, started hitting right hands right on the Hikaru Shida, right to the top left corner of the turnbuckle. This is where the referee's like 1, 2, 3, 4. This is where Hikaru Shida grabbed her hand, slammed her in her back. This is where she started hitting forearms right into her chest, into the Soraya's chest. This is where she started forearming her, stomping her right to her midsection. This is where he throws her right into the other side, into the bottom right corner of 10. This is where she slides up before she got a chance to go around top, start punching her 10 times in a row. This is where just Saraya cockingly was walking and taunting on Hikaru Shida. This is where she drop kicked her right outside the ring. This is where Saraya's like, that was an assault. Like, why would you do that? Like, you stupid gal. Like, why would you do that for? This is where Hikaru Shida's like, get back in the ring so I can finish you off. And then this is where Saraya's like, you fans need you guys have the very bad stinky breath. And then that made me crack up. Like, did you really just say that? Like, I heard her say more insulting words, but this was the most goofiest. Like, this was definitely the goofiest wrestling of the night. Like, this is where Saraya got back in the game. This is where let's see right here. This is where he tried to go for a pick, but this is where Saraya starts screaming like, why the hell she got kicks out of that? This is where he tried to go for a running maneuver, but Hikaru Shida countered and hit her with the most exploding suplex I have ever seen in professional wrestling. This is where Hikaru Shida his knees right into her chest. This is where Hikaru Shida was like, all right, and hit her with a knee strike that made her go head. It made her head jump right up in like 6 feet in the air and chest and head first. This is where somebody in a mask in a head trying to look like the cameraman, but trying to spray Hikaru Shida with the Outcast signature signature on their eyes, but Hikaru Shida saved herself from getting sprayed. She grabbed on her mask, and it was revealed to be Ruby Soho, the same girl that's been banned from being in ringside into Saraya's corner because it's been announced that she will be banned from ringside when Hikaru Shida will take on Saraya for her AEW Women's World Championship, and she should be out there because she's not gonna do no heel shenanigans. Saraya's like, I was just joking, I was just playing. It was just some kind of a prank. This is where Hikaru Shida did the smartest thing that helped her got the advantage, and that's by spraying Saraya and making it backfire on Ruby Soho, spraying her eyes out with the graffiti. And she was like, "Oh no, I know," and had her send pack back, and have her send her back to her locker room, and she wasn't back for the rest of the match. This is where Hikaru Shida. But before she can go, this is where Toni Storm threw what's her name? Soraya, I'm not Soraya, Ruby Soho right over barricade or wherever the barricade is, right over the barricade, right into the audience. She was like, she did her Swedish opera actress pose that you usually do, like I did that pose, whatever it is. She jump over the barricade, make sure she even the odds, and make sure the Ruby Soho is no longer going to be in the match. This is where Hikaru Shida was very shocked. Like, what? She was like, wasn't Tony Storm was just friends with Ruby Soho and Saraya, even though she hadn't been hanging out with them much, because even Saraya thinks that she's very often and she lost it, but I would never expect this. And then this where. And Saraya came from behind, attacked her from behind, and reminded her that she's still in a match with her. This is where she Irish whipped her right into the barricade, started stepping on her like this was the corner turnbuckle. This is where she threw her in a few places and into the turnbuckle and some of the steel steps. This is where she eventually throws her back in the ring, thinking she's gonna retain her championship and remain as AEW Women's Champion. This is where she started hitting a right forearm strikes right on the Ruby Soho. I mean, not Ruby Soho, to Saraya. I'm getting Saraya and Ruby Soho mixed up. My apologies. But anyway, this is where they try to go for a clothesline. Because she counter ducks and hits a diving knee strike right onto the AEW Women's World Championship. This is where she started pointing to everybody's like, yeah, like I'm gonna get her. Like this is where the fan. This is where Ruby finally got a chance. Like once because like that wrestling rule, like if you don't successfully execute the move at first, you're gonna be a guarantee, or unless you're double cursed, but yeah, it'll be a guarantee that you're gonna hit her. It'll be you're gonna finally get the chance to execute the move, which Hikaru Shida did so with the right hands with the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So Ruby's not Ruby. So I did it again. My apologies. Saraya rolled out of the punches. This is where she walks out of the way. This is where Hikaru Shida she hits a running missile drop kick right on the middle ropes. And this is where Shida tried to go for a pin, but she only got a 2 count. And this is where Tony Schiavone's like, I kind of expected Saraya to get out of that. This is where Hikaru Shida tried to grab on Saraya. This is where she tried to go for a top rope suplex right off the ring apron, back inside the ring. Something that Claudio Castagnoli probably trained her to do when the next time she faced her. But Saraya managed to counter and axe handles her. This is where Saraya tried to flip her over into a snap mirror arm drag. But this is where Hikaru Shida was trying to counter it at first, but Saraya managed to the steel doodle maneuver and successfully execute it and slam her right in the whole entire back first right into the right onto the hardest part of the ring apron. This is where Hikaru Shida brought her down off the apron, slamming her back first. Because Excalibur sent up and reminded everybody that she has been some neck issues, a reference to her time in WWE back a few years ago, like when she had to retire because of that incident that she got her neck got injured into that house show in that 6-woman tag match. But anyway, this is where Hikaru Shida goes for a double knees meteora right off the apron. This is where looked like she's about to do it. She Irish whips Saraya back in the ring. This is where Hikaru Shida tried to go for her maneuver, try to go for the cellar range running knee strike. This is where she got to go for a pinfall, but Saraya kicks out of the 2.999 count maneuver. This is where Hikaru Shida was like, okay, like she may have gotten out of it, but I got another move coming, which she tried to go for the katana. This is where Saraya countered it. This is where she tried to go for her finishing submission move, where she twisted her legs and tried to grab her on her arms. I forget the name of it. Usually called the PTO lock, but that's clearly not the name of it. But this is where Hikaru Shida rolled out of it. This is where she finally hit a question mark kick right onto Saraya. This is where she goes right, try to go up on the top rope. This is where This is where she tried to go for some kind of a diving maneuver. This is where she tried to go for possibly the crossbody, but she got intercepted with a super kick right into the face. And this is where she gets hit with the PTO drop, but this is where something shocking happened. This looked like she was about to retain her AEW Women's World Championship with a 1, 2, and once the referee tried to go for 3, this is where Hikaru Shida kicks out soon before the referee counted to 3. Oh yeah, I see. Yeah, I think no wonder he looked familiar. I didn't even know that either. But anyways, this is where Hikaru Shida. Hikaru Shida kicks out at 2.99999, 0.1 away from being 3, and then Saraya could even believe, like, how did she kicks out? Like, there's no way in hell that Shida was gonna win. Like, there's no way that she's gonna. I mean, there's no way she's gonna win. There's no way she kicked out of that. That's why I say, yeah. And this is where fans start chanting, "Let's go, Shida, let's go." And this is where Saraya goes for grabbing a couple things. This is where she had Hikaru Shida. She grabbed something like a glass thing, which was something that she's gonna use probably against Saraya, but she has what's called to be an elaborate distraction. Had the Hikaru Shida's kendo stick sword, right? With trying to look like she's trying to have a championship advantage, trying to use the championship advantage onto Hikaru Shida by hitting Hikaru Shida with the kendo stick. This is where the referee's like, wait, what are you doing? But what the referee didn't know that she had the glass thing under her. Had something, a little bottle of, which was none other than the graffiti, the Outcast graffiti that a can, when she sprayed it right across Hikaru Shida's eyes, like my eyes, no, like if it's pepper spray. This is where she tried to go for the night cast. This is where she tried to go for a pin, but she only got, where she tried to go for, this is where she tried to pin her. This is where she go for 1, 2, and it was another 2.999. She was like, how in the living hell did she kick out of that? I thought for sure she was gonna kick out of that. Like no, honey, like that was not gonna happen whatsoever. And then I was like, no, this was 2. And then Excalibur and Tony Schiavone's like, no, it happened again. And then it's like, how much what's she gonna do? And this was Saraya's like, that was 1, 2, 3. Like, how could you not count it? And then this was like, well, it was 3. It was 3. Like, I mean, it was 2.999. Like, it was 2. Like, once I count it, like, my decision is final. Like, no take backs. And then this is where Saraya's like, shut up. And then this is where fans like, holy Shida. And this is where she tried to go for another night cast. This is where she gets hit with the Falcon Arrow, the signature Falcon Arrow. This is where she tried to go for a pin, but she counts for a 1, 2. This is where Saraya rolls up into a 1, 2. 1, 2, all. This is where they are going back for in TNA faction. This is where Shida finally got a hold of her, grabbed onto her tights, and got a 1, 2, 3. Like, hit her with the most devastating move in all sports entertainment, just like what she did to her former Outcast ally Tony Storm. Like, except this time she did it the opposite way. Like, hit her with the roll up, grabbing her in the wheelbarrow position with the roll up, with a 1, 2, 3 victory. I was like, that's no way that Hikaru Shida just won. Like, how did she just won? Like, that's shocking. Like this, and then this. Remember, like I said earlier, that there's gonna be another shocking title change in tonight's Title Tuesday. And then they showed the reason why they call it a Title Tuesday special edition. I was like, not because this is gonna be not only just because it's gonna be against NXT in the same night or Tuesday, but also there's gonna be some big shocking title changes. First, it was with Orange Cassidy winning his AEW International Champion, become the first ever two-time champion, and then this is where, and Hikaru Shida became the first ever three-time Women's World Championship in AEW, which we which we got some shocking title changes and first ever multi-time champions into the wrestlers' respective reigns as champion. And what do you think about this of the matter? Y'all let me know down in the comment section down below. And what do you think about Hikaru Shida being the first ever woman being the three-time women's world champion in all elite wrestling? Y'all let me know straight down into the messages down below. But I think this was very shocking. I was like, I expected Hikaru Shida would have been three-time women's world champion, but I wouldn't think it would be in this manner. I thought Saraya possibly would win. Like, there will be some shenanigans going on, and then there'll be another reason why Shida gets another chance to be a women's world champion. But yeah, y'all let me know what you think about this latest win. But anyways, I think this was really great for the Japanese star from the perspective of Hikaru Shida. And next up we have, and it's time for the main event of the evening, which is Christian Cage's right-hand man of destruction. Luchasaurus takes on his former best friend, the Rated R superstar, Adam Copeland. But before they have the match, this is where we have Christian Cage cutting the promo, sending a few threatening messages to the Rated R superstar. He's talking about Adam Copeland, talking about let's have a dream match and finish our careers here in AEW, and we'll do it as peers together. And then Christian Cage like, that's funny. That seems that sentiment a few years ago, Adam. And his fans start. And the Independence fans, or should I say Kansas City fans, start chanting, "You suck, you suck." And he's like, the same sentiment. He's like, continuous the line. He's like, the sentiment of the delivery held back, even though I'm clearly more talented of the two, while you getting pushed to the moon. I was like, they really say that. Are you really referencing that? Like, I don't say you're more talented than Andrew. I would say just as talented that he was, because Edge was very talented. That's why he was keep getting pushed to the moon, because he actually earned it. At least most of the times, of course, when he's babyface. But he's like, my aspirations. What's the aspirations about that, Adam? Huh? And he's like, and then Christian Cage was like, and my times has changed because as your career is on the downward slope, he's like, my career keeps on climbing to the new heights. Because I am not a doubt that I'm the star of this injury. And I'm the talk about star in this business. I was like, yeah, that may be true, because you keep talking about the only thing that's making you famous, especially as a heel, is when you're talking about your colleagues and your arch rivals as deceased fathers, whether if they're famous or not. Well, now one of them happens to be your new protege, which is Nick Wayne. Right, you're now his new father figure, because you brainwashed him of stabbing Darby Allin in the back. But anyways, this is where he's like, I'm not being a fan. I'm not sure of being a fan, Adam. I have lots of fans that around the world. In fact, I know you have a lot of fans around the world yourself, Adam, but I know your wife Beth is a huge fan of you, Adam. And I was like, did you really just name drop Adam's wife, aka the Edge's wife Beth, on AEW television? And I'm not sure if she's still working with WWE or not. I know that Edge's or Adam Copeland now, his contract ended at the end of September, which I'm not sure if Beth's contract expired, which I'm not sure. We'll probably run that on the wrestling news tomorrow or Thursday. Make sure you check that out. I'm going to do a back-to-back 2 days in a row doing wrestling news video on Wednesdays and Thursdays, because this was the Tuesday Night War edition of Dynamite, because like I said, that they couldn't do it tomorrow because the MLB playoffs is going to be on TBS all day. But that's why they moved it to Tuesdays. But anyway, this is where the fans are like, boo to Christian Cage. Like, oh, like, you don't have to bring it up. And he's like, I'm getting bored of it. I'm going to go ahead and have my right hand of the right hand of destruction do all the answers with his hands when he takes, do all the action against you and end your career here in AEW before it even starts. And then I'm going to have your two little girls, Lyric and Ruby, watch and see their daddy being destroyed and being in a sad devastating way, and then making them cry and blah blah blah. And he's like, it will be well taken care of. And Beth, I know you're out there listening, like and then this is when the fans started chanting something to him, said something insulting to the father, the deceased father hating individual superstar. He's like, hey, I'm on the microphone here. Like, shut the hell up. Like, and then the fans started booing more louder. Probably not as loud as Dominic tonight on NXT, but they were loud enough. He's like, put some clean sheets on the bed because your new father is coming home, girls. I was like, he really just said that on live national television, even though it was all part of the skit. But did he really have to go far as well? They're trying to replace Edge to be the new father of Lyric and Ruby, which is Adam Copeland's. So this would made Adam Copeland very pissed at his former best friend. This probably crosses the line because he ran straight into the ring. As soon as after you hear the theme song, you think you know him. He started running out there. He started going straight, trying to go for Christian, but he ran out. This is where Adam Copeland went straight face to face, right onto Luchasaurus. This is where Nick Wayne's bastard ass grabbed onto Adam Copeland's legs. This is where he gave enough time to distract Adam Copeland. This is where he hit the big boot right onto Adam's head. And this is where Luchasaurus hits a running strike and clothesline from behind. This is where the Edge, or Adam Copeland, I should say, my bad. I'm too used to calling Edge Adam Copeland. This is where Adam Copeland gets back up. This is where he's like, okay, you done it now, like Luchasaurus. And same with you, Christian. I try to be the nice one here, but it looks like I'm going to have to be my mean side again. And then this is where Luchasaurus started hitting right hands right onto the Rated R Superstar and hits him with a running clothesline, trying to simply annihilate Edge or Adam Copeland. Why I keep calling him Edge? Because he's no longer Edge. And then this is where he hits a tombstone pile driver. I was like, you're trying to be the Undertaker. Like, what is up with wrestlers in 2023 trying to do the tombstone pile driver? And then I'm gonna say like other wrestlers say, but I'm gonna get to that later. But anyway. Yeah, I was like, what is up with him? Like, this is the shot. Like, did he hurt from somebody? And I was like, now I'm thinking, like, what is he doing? Like, did he hurt from an excellent source from AEW that's watching NXT right now that recently saw Undertaker live on NXT, so that's why he probably did the tombstone power driver. Who knows? Like, I'm wondering what y'all's hot take about it in the comment section down below. It's probably going to be one of the wildest wrestling news and theories on the internet tomorrow night. I mean, not tomorrow night, tomorrow afternoon in the other wrestling YouTubers wrestling news. Make sure y'all probably going to check that out, and please make sure y'all check that out if y'all want to. This is where Luchasaurus started continuing to do more damages onto his master's former best friend, which he's starting to do damage on. This is where he started hitting extra axe handles. Like, this is where he started dragging him and throwing him face first and slamming him face first right into the top turnbuckle of the left top corner of Tina the turnbuckle. This is where he starts stepping on him on the exact same corner, right into the bottom side corner, started stepping on with his foot. And then this is where Adam started holding on to the ropes. This is where the referee was like, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then this is where Yars whipped Adam right to the other corner, slamming his back right into the bottom right corner of Tina the turnbuckle. This is where Christian Cage was continuing watching right on stage with a steel sitting on a steel chair, grinning away, saying, like, yeah, it's all working like as I planned it. Like I was like, oh really? Like he may be down, but the rated R superstar's not gonna be out. Like that's the last thing he's gonna be doing. Edge went through like more damages than this. Like he haven't been wrestling for over 25 plus years in this industry for nothing. This is where Luchasaurus hit him with a body slam, and then this is where we start stepping on the head, and this is what made Excalibur worry. Like this is his first ever debut match with AEW, and even in Dynamite, and this could possibly be his last. Like if Luchasaurus continues this, and I was like, I'm glad. And then now I'm thinking about, now I'm glad that that's not going to be the case, because spoiler alert, that's not going to be the case. That he's going to end his career's going to end before it even starts with All Elite Wrestling. And then this is where he picks him back up. This is where he hits a hooking elbow strike right onto Adam Copeland. This is where he bounced back onto the ropes. This is where he hits a striking front elbow strike right on the Luchasaurus. This is where he hits a right strike right to this is where he hits a running forearm right to his face. This is where he hits a running forearm right to the head. This is where he starts shaking his head, like, because he hit him so hard. This is where he started hitting elbows and right hands right onto the rated R superstar. My apologies. Really bad allergies. But anyways, this is where he's trying to lift up the rated R superstar. This is where I go for a superplex. This is where he lifts him up right in there, flips him, and slam him down to the ground. This is where Adam Copeland rolls out of the ring. This is where he starts. Nick Wayne started trying to be the special enforcer, which I don't think he should be, because he's not making nothing fair into this match. Because he's not making it any better, because he's going to do some shenanigans when the referee's not looking, when Luchasaurus is distracting the referee, or even Christian Cage is doing that. But this is where he started hitting them with single axe handles on the chest of Adam Copeland and continue repeatedly doing that. And then this is where he counters. He hits him with a forearm right to his face. This is where he started hitting back-to-back forearms and elbow strikes right to the head. And he started continuously doing that and this is where he tried to run up and try to go for a close. And this is where he gets super kicked right to the jaw by Luchasaurus, making him roll out of the ring. This is where he did enough damage on the ringside. And then this is where he rolls out of the ring. This is where Adam Copeland went onto the hardest part in the ring ever. Jump off and caught onto Luchasaurus' head, around his hand, or arms, I should say, and hit the tornado DDT, spin around tornado DDT, right onto what's his name, to Luchasaurus, which he swings around and got hit right onto the concrete floor. This is where Edge got up right on the top rope, hits a top rope splash, looking like if it's a crossbody turned into a running bulldog. This is where Adam Copeland was back in the match. This is where we're trying to win this match. This is where Luchasaurus intercepts and attacks him. This is where he's trying to choke slam Adam Copeland, but this is where he grabs on his hand, spins him around, hits a crossface right onto the dinosaur slash wrestler. This is where he try to go for a double choke slam, tree slam, Majig. This is where he countered and hits the Adamcution on him, like boom, or whatever he calls it now. Whatever his new for those viewers who are watching this video right now that knows Edge's new finishing move, the name of his new finishing move, let me drop a comment to let me know, because I would love to hear that. But anyways, this is where the Impaler, I think the Impaler, I believe, yeah. This is where he pins him. This is where he kicks out at 2.8 seconds. And I was like, how did he kick out of that? This is where, and he's like, and this is where what's the name starting to worry. This is where Christian Cage starting to work. Look like he's nearly biting his fingernails. He's like, come on, get up, no, don't let Adam get up. Get up, finish him off. Start worrying. This is where the referee started doing this count, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, and also they were advertising the new season of Rick and Morty exclusively on Adult Swim. Make sure y'all watch that for those Rick and Morty fans out there. But this is where both men were slowly but surely getting up when the count is 7, and then the referee counted to 8, and then this was okay, like Adam Copeland. I was about to say Edge, but it's really Adam Copeland. My apologies. This is where Christian Cage trying to distract the referee for Nick Wayne to do some kind of dirty maneuver onto Adam Copeland. That's where he wedged the chair right onto the chair, wedged the chair right onto the bottom right corner of the turnbuckle between the top and middle turnbuckle. This is where Adam Copeland noticed this. This is where and try to prevent this from even happening. This is where Luchasaurus tried to hit him right towards the. I think he tried to Irish whip him right in towards the. This is where he Irish whip Adam Copeland right into the chairs, but he countered. This is where he slows down and stop himself from getting hit right into the wedge chair. This is where Adam Copeland tried to go for the spear, but he leapfrog. The first time I saw Luchasaurus ever leapfrog in his entire wrestling career, this is the first time I ever see him did this in his whole entire professional wrestling career. He leapfrogged. This is where Edge ended up hitting the wedge chair face first and landed right in his head. This is where Luchasaurus tried taking advantage, tried to go for a 1-2, but kicks out at 2.999, and then both Luchasaurus and Christian Cage and Nick Wayne were thinking like how in the hell he kicks out right after getting hit with such a maneuver, and he choke slams him and he kicks out at 2.99. This is where he closes on him. He ducks, hits a double boot right into the face. This is where Christian oh come on, you cannot get any serious than this. Luchasaurus, come on. This is where Luchasaurus was between onto the ropes, onto the between the ropes and the outside ropes on the ring apron. This is where Edge tried to go for a running experience, something that he used to do in WWE, and like what Big E used to do. This is where he grabbed him right there. Grab him over the top rope into the apron where he was, try to choke slam him right through the hardest part of the ring, which is the ring apron. This is where Adam Copeland countered, hits him with the Adam-O-Matic, which had him landing right into the apron. I think this doesn't really look good for Luchasaurus. This is where he puts him back in the ring. And okay, Mr. What's your name? Come at me, bro. Yeah. Come at me, bro. Yeah. Good question. Acknowledge him. Days in the greatest champion. I mean, I do acknowledge him as champion if you're referring to Roman Reigns, of course. Are you referring to Roman Reigns or somebody else? Because I'm assuming that you're referring to Roman Reigns because because you said acknowledge him, which I'm not sure about acknowledging, but at first I thought of him as the greatest Universal Champion, but I think his title reign is way past overdue of a dethroning, which I believe Cody Rhodes is gonna finish the story, which that's a story for another day for at WrestleMania 40, which I believe that's going to be the case. Whether if he wins the Royal Rumble or not, I think Cody Rhodes is going to find a way of winning and becoming the undisputed WWE Universal Champion. But yeah, thank you for telling me about that, Mister Come at me, bro. I believe that's what you. I believe that's what the name of your page on YouTube. But yeah, keep on watching until the very end. And yeah, we're gonna talk about this is where Christian K tried to distract the referee once again. This is where this is where this is where Christian K tried to throw the championship right at what's his name but anyway, this is where he tried to throw in the TNT championship or onto tried to throw the championship on Luchasaurus, but I believe Edge fumbled the championship, grabbed on the championship. He took advantage. He was like, he looked at the championship. He hit it across Luchasaurus's face. This is where he knocks out Nick Wayne off the apron, like face first, right into the. And this was like he's trying to do a cheap shot with me at the championship. This referee's like, what? Like, you better get away from him in this championship. This is where he did so. Like, he had to step down because, or else he's gonna get ejected. And then this is where Edge finally got back in the match. He hits the spear onto what's his name, Luchasaurus for the 1-2-3, and he won his debut match. And he's gonna probably remain unbeatable at the moment until he finally faces his best friend Christian Cage. Like they would do it every single legendary former ex-WWE wrestler, like they did with CM Punk, like they did with what's his name, Miro, like they did with who else? Christian Cage. Christian Cage, which he's the best friend of Adam Copeland, of course. But yeah, we got the win. This is where Nick Wayne and Luchasaurus came in and outnumbered Adam Copeland. They thought this was gonna be the case for long, but this is where I was like, come on, we gotta have Darby Allin instead. But unfortunately, I believe Darby Allin's out with an injury with his arm. So I don't think neither of them are going to be out there. This is where Bryan Danielson came out and tried to even the odds a bit. This is where they started fighting them, but the numbers were getting to, including Christian Cage coming in the ring and trying to outnumber both him and Adam. Trying to beat up both the two guys that lost to the guy that this man that commented about acknowledged him as the greatest champion ever, which was 2 years ago's main event night two of WrestleMania 37, I believe. Make sure I check that out exclusively on Peacock. But yeah, these are the two guys that unfortunately lost to the tribal chief Roman Reigns, Adam Copeland and Bryan Danielson. And now they're on AEW. And then this is where we got Claudio Castagnoli and Willa Yuta came in, started fighting Nick Wayne and Luchasaurus. And soon after, the Mogul Embassy's Gates of Agony started coming in, started beating them up and thinking they could beat them down, like and trying to make some kind of example on the poor guys, but Hangman Adam Page came in and started helping, fighting, and it was a whole entire ring full of wrestlers fighting each other with all the rivals and the But yeah, this is where they start fighting each other, beating each other up into a barricade in the ring. This is where Christian Cage try to try to I believe try to hit him with a few blows, but Brian Danielson grab him by his leg and then hit him with the label lock, making him tap out, looking like if it already is Collision, which I'm gonna make a review about that one as soon as I watch the latest edition of AEW Collision. But yeah, make sure you check that out. And that's how AEW ended into tonight's AEW Dynamite review. I mean AEW Dynamite, and yep, that's my tonight's Dynamite review, part 9 of the special Title Tuesday edition for the Tuesday Night War. And how did you like this video? Let me know down in the comments below. And what you thought of AEW Dynamite tonight? Y'all let me know down in the comments below. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and give it to him a 4 out of a 5 stars review of a rating. Yeah, from yours truly, SNA, courtesy to the SNA podcast. But anyways, I'll say this was totally the match of the night. Adam Copeland in his debut match against Luchasaurus, and then the match ended in a KC brawl, which I think that it like again, I think that they should save this in a go home show. Like this looks like if it's some kind of a go home show to a pay-per-view, like something like NXT or TNA would do like back in the day. Going back and forth like with arch rivals from their respective matches in the upcoming, they started brawling, started beating each other up and beating the hell out of each other. But that's how AEW's Dynamite ended, like if it was a go home show. And I think every AEW show should end like this, like they're not like with the brawls, but like if it's a go home show, like something to look forward to seeing what's next or what's gonna happen on the next episode of Dynamite and Rampage and Collision. But yeah, that's the end of my video. Hopefully y'all liked it. Hope y'all liked it, and I hope y'all enjoyed. And if y'all did, please make sure you leave a huge thumbs up, like this video, and share this video with everybody all over social media. Subscribe, click the bell notification if you haven't already, so you can be notified when I upload my newest and upcoming videos. And make sure y'all y'all can check out my other videos I made from the last couple of months since the middle of August, like a barefoot jackrabbit on a hot greasy griddle. Yes, that's a reference to a very popular cartoon, which is one of my all-time favorites. But I'll talk about that when I start talking about animated topics in the world of animation. But anyways, for now, I'm going to be doing wrestling in the time being. But this was the latest edition of the SNA podcast. I was your host, Super Ninja Austin, episode 67. And this was the AEW Title Tuesday Dynamite review, part 9, which was the Tuesday Night War edition of both NXT and AEW. The first time I did a back-to-back episode of the SNA podcast on a Tuesday night. And I hope y'all enjoyed. And if you did, like I said, do all that and then share with your friends and let them know let them know about me, SNA, and then I would love to have a lot of viewers watching my content and making and making my channel grow by the minute, by little by little, going bigger and bigger and bigger, like going higher up with the views and the subscribers, viewership, and even making more exclusive videos and even doing upgrade with doing this content, which I'm getting good at, even for doing it on the webcam, but I'm making it work somehow, but yeah, hopefully y'all enjoyed the quality of this video of doing the SNA podcast. And then tomorrow, make sure y'all check out my and before I get to that, who do you think won the ratings war of tonight's AEW versus WWE's NXT, AEW Dynamite versus WWE NXT one-off Tuesday Night War ratings bid, I should say. Y'all let me know also about that in the comment section down below. And I'm not sure who will win because they both delivered, but I would say Perhaps NXT probably would win the ratings for the fact that they gave everything they got, and even have all kinds of main roster wrestlers making an appearance on there and putting on an entertaining show with the young guys. But I think NXT did a great job too, along with NXT. So I would say that's my opinion on what's going to probably happen, what's going to be the demographics on who's watching wrestling on cable tonight. But anyway, back to my next video, episode 68 of the SNA podcast, which will be my wrestling news video part 9, no, not 9, part 14. Part 14, and then make sure y'all watch that. And then tomorrow, and the day after tomorrow, on Thursday, will be AEW. I'm not AEW. The Wrestling News Part 15 of episode 69 of the SNA podcast. The wrestling news still keeps going. But I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I hope y'all have a great night, and I'll see you all there. Super Ninja Austin, and until then, Super Ninja Austin, the assassin, will be out. And keep on YouTubing.